Breaking the cycle, the Great War. When Pablo Marinos arrived in northern France in 1294, having been transported from the pocket dimension in Siberia, he fought alongside the Wolf King. He was saved from Amargua by Primus Richthofen after the Primus crew had been sent to the Great War by Monty. At this point, Primus Richthofen realized that Monty was lying about securing a better tomorrow. He realized that going to the Great War wouldn't break the cycle, as it was the end of their loop. Primus Richthofen finally understood that Monty wasn't inherently evil. He was trying to survive by saving the multiverse the only way he knew how. By fulfilling the prophecy of the cycle, Primus Richthofen and Dr. Monty had forged an endless loop. With the help of Pablo Marinos, Primus Richthofen started a plan to break the cycle. As Pablo Marinos was defending him from the zombies, Primus Richthofen powered up a teleportation device to travel to the Alcatraz pocket dimension. Before he left, Pablo gave him the elemental gem from the Staff of Fire. Primus Richthofen would then be known as Post-Great War Richthofen, Alcatraz Pocket Dimension. After their deaths, Salvatore Sal De Luca, Billy Handsome, Albert Weasel Arlington, and Michael Finn O'Leary were trapped inside a perpetual cycle in the Alcatraz Pocket Dimension created by the Warden for the Shadowmen. The four mobsters began their escape plan before realizing they weren't in the prison. While fighting off the zombies and the Warden, they constructed a plane based on Arlington design before taking off and crashing against the Golden Gate Bridge. The cycle continues. If Salvatore De Luca, Billy Handsome, and Michael O'Leary kill Albert Arlington on the Golden Gate, the cycle continues, with the mobsters dying and returning to Alcatraz, and only Arlington having any memory of what happened before. Upon arriving from the Prodigion fracture, another iteration of Primus arrived in the Alcatraz pocket dimension, farther from their destination than they intended, and made their way to a laboratory on the west side of the island. In the laboratory, they found the earlier version of Primus Richthofen before his journey to Morgue City, reading the chronorium as he waited for them to arrive. The lone Richthofen stated they were late before giving them the blood vials. He then strongly advised Primus Richthofen read the chronorium again before he left via his own portal. Upon reading it, Primus Richthofen realized the pages had changed. The cycle is broken. If Arlington successfully kills Salvatore De Luca, Billy Handsome, and Michael O'Leary on the Golden Gate, the cycle is broken. This allows the mobsters to escape their cycle and free their spirits from their bodies. With their cycle now broken, the four mobsters will help Primus escaping the pocket dimension. Upon arriving from the Perdition fracture, another iteration of Primus arrived in the Alcatraz pocket dimension, farther from their destination than they intended, and made their way to a laboratory on the west side of the island. In the laboratory, they found the earlier version of Primus Richthofen before his journey to Morgue City, reading the chronorium as he waited for them to arrive. The lone Richthofen stated they were late before giving them the blood vials. He then strongly advised Primus Richthofen read the chronorium again before he left via his own portal. Upon reading it, Primus Richthofen realized the pages had changed. Upon arriving from the Perdition fracture, another iteration of Primus arrived in the Alcatraz pocket dimension, farther from their destination than they intended, and made their way to a laboratory on the west side of the island. In the laboratory, they found the earlier version of Primus Richthofen before his journey to Morgue City, reading the chronorium as he waited for them to arrive. The lone Richthofen stated they were late before giving them the blood vials. He then strongly advised Primus Richthofen read the chronorium again before he left via his own portal. Upon reading it, Primus Richthofen realized the pages had changed. Primus traveled through the cell blocks while fending off zombies to escape through another rift. However, this was prevented by the Warden, who destroyed the rift before Primus could leave. Primus Richthofen then realized they were now trapped inside the Alcatraz pocket dimension, as the Shadow Man had intended. While exploring Alcatraz, Primus Richthofen began hearing Samuel J. Stillinger inside his head and realized the lighthouse must have triggered a chain reaction in the ether. Primus also discovered the Warden's inner sanctum, where they found the Warden's body attached to an electric chair. As they were retrieving the chronorium, Arlington, now in the form of a seagull, stole the book. After recovering it, Primus placed it on the Warden's body. Using the chronorium, Primus helped several spirits trapped inside the dimension before placing the summoning key inside the Warden's body to be used as conduit to his soul. This resulted in the partial destruction of the lighthouse, which fired a red beam of light toward the sky and prompted the Warden to attack Primus, stating they now belonged to him before knocking them out and locking each of them in a cell. The warden explained to Primus that they would be trapped in the pocket dimension forever, suffering with their blood extracted by his machine, as it was the key to keep the gateway open and also freed the Shadow Men and the Apothecons. However, after the warden left, Arlington arrived and helped Primus escape their cells. As they ran back to the lab, they were stopped by the warden, who turned into a giant version of himself. He was, however, restrained by the spirits of Salvatore De Luca, Billy Handsome, and Finn O'Leary, who launched him into the sky. Inside the lab, another cryopod was revealed, and Primus started its thawing sequence. Primus then confronted the warden in front of the dark mechanism next to the Model Industries to prevent him from acquiring the last piece of the mechanism. During the fight, Primus Richthofen decided to step inside the dark mechanism and gave his blood. In the meantime, the cryopod opened, revealing post-Great War Richthofen wearing chainmail and holding the elemental gem. He joined the fight and used the gem to kill the warden and the zombies, freeing their spirits from the pocket dimension. Post-Great War Richthofen revealed to Primus Nikolai that the future had changed and handed him the chronorium, advising him to read it. He explained to Primus Nikolai that he must keep his soul in order to defeat Monty, to which Primus Nikolai replied, "Who?" Several portals appeared, and post-Great War Richthofen moved to the dark mechanism, where he revealed to Primus Richthofen that the cycle was now broken and that their insurance policies, the blood vials, were no longer needed. He grabbed the summoning key and joined Primus, who had smashed their blood vials, before stepping through the portals, leaving Primus Richthofen to die as the pocket dimension was collapsing.